All right, diving in today, folks, and we're going deep on something pretty major for anyone who's, really into American history. And that's, well, it all centers on the JFK assassination.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
We're zeroing in like hyper focused on this huge batch of documents that just dropped like just yesterday, March 18th, 2025,
Yeah.
all straight from the National Archives. And the big deal here is that, well, they were classified before.
Yeah.
This is stuff that's been kept under wraps.
Yeah, this is the real deal. It's not just, some rehash or a few random pages they found. The National Archives is saying this is it. Like all the assassination records that were, quote, previously withheld, end quote. That phrase, that's what sticks with me. Previously withheld.
Exactly. It's like we're finally getting, a peek behind the curtain after what, decades.
Yeah.
And the timing here is pretty interesting too. It's directly tied to a directive from President Trump himself, issued just the day before, March 17th, 2025. And it's all backed by, the official stamp of authority, Executive Order 14176. So, it's not just some casual thing. This is the real deal.
And the sheer scale of this release, right? Like we're talking over 63,000 pages here. That's a whole library, all going public just yesterday, March 18th, spread across, get this, 2,182 PDF files. 2,182. It's almost overwhelming.
Yeah, it's a lot to process. Like I can't even imagine the logistical undertaking to make this happen.
Yeah.
To go through all those records, make sure they're ready for release. It's mind-boggling. And it gets even more mind-boggling when you consider that the National Archives has said this is just the beginning.
There's more.
Yeah, there's more. They're saying they're going to keep digitizing more records. So the 63,000, that might just be the tip of the iceberg. It's like we're in for a long and wild ride.
So, okay, let's say someone like one of our listeners, they get hooked and they want to dive into these primary sources themselves, right? Where do they even begin with something like this?
Well, the digital age has its perks. They can go the online route. The National Archives website, they've got it all laid out. Just got to look for the section that says JFK Assassination Records 2025 Documents Release. It's easy enough, right?
Yeah, makes sense. But I'm guessing some people, they want the tangible experience, right? They want to like hold the documents, feel the history.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
And for those folks, a trip to the National Archives facility is in order. It's down in College Park, Maryland, and they've got it all there, hard copies and even older media formats, like the stuff you see in the movies, the reels and whatnot.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty amazing. So, I mean, this whole release, it's not just some random happening, right? Like there's a whole legal framework behind this.
Oh yeah, there's a whole backstory here, and it all goes back to the President John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Collection Act of 1992. That was the game changer. That's what set the stage for all this to even be possible. The declassification, the release, the whole nine yards.
And in the midst of all this, the National Archives specifically called out sections 10 and 11 of this act. So, okay, legal jargon aside, for the average person, what's the big deal about these sections?
Well, Section 10, that's where things get kind of tricky. It deals with
Yeah.
with information that might be under, court seals, like gag orders
Yeah.
or stuff tied to grand jury proceedings. That's the stuff that's always been like super duper secret.
Okay, I see. So like even with this massive release, there are still some areas that are off limits.
Right. Right. And then Section 11, that's another layer of complexity. It's all about tax returns.
Yeah.
Those are protected under some pretty serious privacy laws. Specifically, Section 6103 of the Internal Revenue Code.
Yeah.
And it also covers any documents that were like privately donated to the government.
So it's like this massive transparency effort, but with some very deliberate boundaries. It really shows the tension between, the public's right to know and these other important protections.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance for sure. And that's what makes this initial release so intriguing. I mean, the fact that they were able to release this much, stuff that had to pass all these legal checks and balances, it makes you think, could this be the key to unlocking some of the mysteries that have lingered for so long? About the early stages of the investigation, the things that maybe we haven't even thought to ask about yet.
That's a really good point. And it kind of brings us to what we're aiming to do with this deep dive. We want to help you, the listener, navigate this flood of information. We're not expecting you to, go through all 63,000 pages yourself. Well, unless you've got like a year of free time and a real thirst for archival adventures.
Our goal here is to boil it down to the the essential points. We want to give you a clear picture of what's happened, the scale of this release, the background, and how you can get your hands on these records if you want to explore further. Basically, we want to equip you with the knowledge you need to grasp the significance of this moment.
So just to recap what we've covered so far, on March 18th, 2025, a massive batch of previously classified JFK assassination records were released, over 63,000 pages, a truly historic moment.
Yeah, and it wasn't just some random occurrence. This is mandated by President Trump's directive and executive order, all operating within the legal framework established by the President John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Collection Act of 1992. And we also touched on sections 10 and 11 of this act, which deal with, all the sensitive stuff, court seals, grand jury proceedings, tax returns, private donations. It makes you wonder, what kind of bombshells might be hidden in those categories.
And for those of you eager to see the source material for yourselves, remember it's all accessible. You can find it online at the National Archives website,
Right.
or you can go the old school route and visit their facility in College Park, Maryland. They've got it all there in various formats, and the digitization process is still ongoing. So who knows what else might surface in the coming months and years.
Now for the big question, with all this new information coming to light, what new paths might this open up? What long-held beliefs about the JFK assassination might be challenged or even completely overturned? I mean, this is potentially game-changing stuff.
It really is. What new avenues of investigation might these documents unlock for researchers, for historians, for anyone who's fascinated by this pivotal moment in American history? And what does this ongoing commitment to declassification and release, what does it tell us about our need to understand the past, even decades later? It's a powerful statement. This release, it has the potential to reshape our understanding of a truly momentous event in American history. And that's something worth thinking about.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.